Well, hey there, crypto friends. Thanks again for joining me. Today on the channel, we have a special guest. Please help me welcome Sebastien Borget, the COO of the Sandbox. Seb, what's going on, man?
Hello. Hey, Shay, how are you?
I'm doing great, doing good. Excited about the Sandbox. You guys know how to bring the fire. Every time I look at these other products out there doing stuff, there's gaps of months and months where there's no communication, there's no announcements, there's no partnerships, they don't have updates for their game. But you guys just consistently are dropping so much good content, so many great announcements and partnerships that sometimes it's a little hard to keep up, man. Could you guys just slow down a little bit? Damn.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. Like, there's so many exciting things happening in the metaverse, and we're the platform where, like, all those creative mind, all those community, all those brands they enter, and combine that with user-generated content with a great tool, and then you have like a great cocktail of creativity, of imagination.
It's true. I will say we talked a little about user content at our talk at NFT NYC at Radio City Music Hall, and that's one of those tricky things. When it comes to video games, user generated content is one of the hardest things to like get right, because when you give users complete freedom to just kind of do things without kind of moderation of those things, you end up with usually some explicit stuff. we'll leave it at that. Like, you end up with some explicit things, and so it's a hard thing to control. So just kind of spitballing off of that, with the metaverse as a concept, as a whole in mind, and then the idea of all this user generated content, how do you see those two things working once we have a very connected metaverse, once we have where everything is interconnected into an actual, like a legit metaverse? Where do you see, user generated content and the moderation of that content going? And then is that something you guys are looking towards in the Sandbox?
We definitely see that as an important step towards like providing like a safe space where everyone can enjoy, have fun, interact, etc. While like feeling that their privacy is protected. That's one of the core value of the metaverse. Like, we're not collecting your data and using it against your behalf, like Web2 platforms. We want to provide a tool so that anyone as a creator can publish on their land. That's coming at the end of the year. And from there, like, launch their experience, make it accessible as well, while following the platform term of use and services. So typically, Sandbox is a creative platform where anyone who wants can do a lot, can breach through the barrier of their imagination. But we still have to follow like the local regulation in every jurisdiction and country. So typically, we would not allow gambling, for example, no casino in the metaverse, because that's a regulated activity. No activities that obviously would be illegal, etc. And I don't think that should be a concern, because there's already so much creativity and fun stuff to do outside of that. All the real world activities will be expanding into the metaverse. We're going to see fantastic like virtual concerts, virtual shows, gallery, museum, and game-based content. So very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I do love about what the Sandbox is doing, is that, I think you guys are creating a really good environment for people of all ages. Now, something that we were talking about on my live stream the other day, and we brought up the idea of, kids inside of the metaverse, right? So when you talk about children that are under 18, is this something that you guys are looking to target as a demographic, or is the Sandbox really more, situated for an 18 plus crowd?
So, well, the Sandbox audience currently mostly adults, 18 plus audience. That will probably evolve over time, as like we'll see more diverse experience, some which are like more family oriented and kids oriented. We're already seeing like brands like the Smurf, Care Bears, Pororo entering the metaverse, and those are typically skewed toward like younger ages. And that's great to provide a world where any audience group can find something to do. We've heard from the community that kids as young as 8-10 years old are already able to use Game Maker and start creating content and experiences. Something I think like there will be a metaverse native generation of creators who are going to create experiences that just doesn't cater to kids themselves, but potentially to everyone.
Yeah.
I know yourself, you're planning to do a game actually into the metaverse, and I'm curious, like, what's your take on the age target audience for this game?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Personally, I think that it's incredibly important that we're building platforms like this. When you talk about the metaverse and the concept of the metaverse as a greater, kind of concept, I think it is important that we make sure that these things are accessible to everybody, that, there are enough controls or things in place to be able to, allow everyone to have a good time, but still express themselves, right? Not be, another bastion of censorship like we see with a lot of, larger social focused platforms, right? Where censorship becomes a very large centralized part of what they're doing. But it's one of those give and takes, it's one of those give and takes. And so, I mean, like with the game I'm developing, I'm trying, I want to make it something fun for everybody to be able to play, right? So my 12-year-old daughter could play it and with her friends and enjoy it and have a good time. But then somebody, our age could enjoy it and still get some fun out of it too. Yeah, because it all comes down to gameplay. We want to make games that are fun, and if the gameplay is fun, it should technically appeal to a pretty wide audience. I love going and playing Roblox with my daughter. Now, I don't jump on Roblox all the time by myself, like creep in with a bunch of kids. But I do love doing it with her, and I think that there's a lot of parents that have those same sort of interactions and same similar fun with their kids. So.
Well, that's a great way of putting it, and like you can have different flavor of the same experience. One is more like socializing the hub. Here is entering the gameplay, multiplayer, single player, different level of difficulty. So it's good to hear that you're thinking around that way.
Yeah, and same thing with you guys, and I think that that's what we're going to probably see a lot of here in season 3, alpha season 3 here for the Sandbox, which is dropping soon. Tell us all about this. Okay, first I want to know when we're going to get in, and then I want to know what your top 3 experiences that you're looking forward to playing. And then I want to know everything else.
Well, that's a great segue into season 3. So we've been progressively sharing some news and teaser about the season 3. It's scheduled for early August. There will be more than 90 experience to play, so more than the double from the previous alpha season.
Wow.
It will involve a lot of content made by the community, the builder themselves, and brands. Like the teaser revealed Atari, Warner Music, Care Bears, Steve Aoki, Smurf, and I'm sure there are many more. So that is promising. We have rabbits, a lot of fun, a lot of different experiences. And I hope it will provide more than the first taste, since it's already our 3rd season of the possibility of the metaverse. It will also show that we've been working on content with all those brands that were just announced a couple of months ago, and I already have something to launch in the metaverse for players to engage, to spend time, to have fun, to collect rewards. There will be rewards, extra rewards for landowners, for avatar owners as well. So we're really shaping season 3 to also care about the community of people who've been supporting and building Sandbox, giving different rewards based on your engagement level as a user into the platform. We listen to the feedback of the community, and I hope that everyone will have a lot of fun. We'll be sharing those moments over various social media, and we will help keep growing overall the number of users who are active into the metaverse and want to build into land, and in their turn use those systems and grow their own community in the space.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but I need to get your top 3. What are going to be like? I know most of the experiences that are coming. What are ones that you're looking forward to? Like, hey, I really want to go check this one out. I know you don't want to play favorites, but we wanted to come up. We want to know what you like. What do you gravitate towards? And then I'll tell you my 3.
I don't want to spoil yet. Like, I think everyone should have like the top 3 after playing. We'll do the poll. Like, we always do that after every season. Every experience is being rated by players, so sharing feedback is essential. That's what has been helping us. I don't want to name, but music, gaming, and UGC, those are the 3 pillars. I think that will circulate around. So that Now let's have everyone explore. Let's have everyone be impressed, be surprised, and maybe you'll play through as well. You tell us which are your top three.
Oh, you know I'm going to be jumping in there and playing. I'm actually really excited about the Rabbids stuff. You know, I thought that was a great collaboration. I love that brand. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's one of those brands that you know spans some generations. You know, I was playing Rabbids with my daughter, you know, as she was a kid growing up, and it's a lot of fun. So I love seeing these crossovers from other games too coming into the sandbox. Not just like, oh well, it's cool because we're bringing in a brand that is not a gaming brand, but like bringing in brand like gaming assets from another game. I think is actually a really cool thing. And obviously you guys kind of started that off with Atari, and then have followed up here with like Walking Dead, which is pretty cool. And there's quite a few different Walking Dead games, but definitely looking forward to jumping in and streaming a lot of this season. Now there is so much content packed into this season. How long do you think it would take somebody to do everything? Have you guys calculated that? Like, here's all the things. Like, it's going to take this many hours to literally do everything. Like, if you wanted to do every quest, do every experience, and just complete the entire thing, not level 5, but like just do it all, how long do you think it would take?
I think it's going to be over the 100 of hours.
Wow.
Of gameplay. Like every experience, you spend at least half an hour in it. That's that's interesting. And there will be an average. Some will also, like many quests, there will be a contest to make you come back into some experience, and they will change. So we'll try to make that long. And for the user who spend the most time, they will get most of even more rewards. But everyone should be able to get something exciting from it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, is that, I think what we've seen with these seasons is a lot of people come in, they don't really understand, right? They don't know much about the sandbox. They saw something, they just jump in, and they're kind of confused. They're like, what's going on? How do I earn some stuff? Like, do I get to keep these NFTs right now and things like that? So like, I think that you guys have done a pretty good job of kind of mitigating some of those issues every season. I've really seen this as an ambassador behind the scenes, kind of things that didn't work and then you guys iterating over them. So love to see that. And so I'm excited to kind of see all the improvements here for season 3 on any of those pain points that we might have had from season 2 for things like questing or accessibility or rewards, distribution of things. I think that things are getting a lot easier now that you guys are migrating over to Polygon, which I think is a really, really big move. I know first we did the currency with MSand, and then now we got lands moving over there. What's next for our move over to Polygon? What's the next step there to get to that level?
So, well, we've done sand, we've done lands. The next step is basically assets. So finally allowing all creators, we recently allowed like publishing of your content on the marketplace without pre-approval. Next step is then allow anyone to mint those assets directly over Polygon and open the marketplace to anyone. And then we'll have a whole economy in place where landowners can buy assets over Polygon and link them to their experience, which they can publish to the public, hopefully around the end of the year. That's where the whole platform is gearing toward. And once we consider it will be fully open to the public at all time. Because right now, as you know, Sandbox is still only open during those alpha seasons or during like specific events that we make accessible to the public.
Yeah,
that's just a temporary state towards like a full open metaverse.
Well, I think it's important to kind of take those steps, because you guys really did need to make the transition over to like a Polygon because of the fees and things like that. It just wouldn't be, tenable to open up things to everybody, to all creators to be able to be on the marketplace and publish when you guys weren't on Polygon, because it would make a less friendly experience, we'll say, as you guys know how the gas fees can be on ETH they're trying to build, and as an independent creator, it's hard to deal with that, so I think that's a big move, and that's something that definitely has to obviously happen before you could open things up to everybody.
I hope so, well, it took us a bit more time than we expected, but that move is done. I think like the overall user experience is very satisfying. And like the fact that it will be fully gasless as we support all the transactions should really simplify the accessibility for everyone. No one just have sand and that's it. No more need for ETH or other token on your wallet to start interacting.
I love it, man. I mean, that's what we all need, and that's what's going to make it easy for people to get onboarded and to, you know, have a whole new crowd come in, right? So it's not just these like hardcore people who are all about crypto. You know, we need to have that kind of casual crowd that comes in and can, you know, want to do this and play and create experiences and NFTs and, you know, do Vox edit, but be able to do it without having to be like, all right, I'm a blockchain specialist, you know, I know everything about wallet, you know. So I think it's a great way that we're kind of moving that direction. And I think that bringing in more of these brands helps to kind of bring in some of those people. So as you guys bring in brands and make these improvements, I think it really does like help to push that narrative of like, okay, well, we're looking to get to that point where it's not just all about like the hardcore people. We want to expand out beyond that. And, you know, you guys have made some really big partnership and brand announcements recently. You guys have recently partnered with Playboy. You guys have recently partnered with Thunderbirds, which I'm personally like really a big fan of and gonna be working with those guys. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys have just recently announced Tony Hawk. What, dude? When I saw that announcement, that blew my mind, man. It looks so good. The assets that they have for the skate park that you guys you could use for like the Tony Hawk skate, like they look great, man. I mean, I want to get in there and start making that shit right now.
Well, that's exactly the idea. Like we want to bring like the biggest skate park in the world should be in the metaverse, and we want people to be able to have fun there, breach through like what we thought couldn't be possible before and make it possible. That's all about metaverse. I'm glad that we're able to touch so many different brands and celebrities and contents from diverse origin. Like Playboy is like this iconic brand that define like the notion of charm and lifestyle. We have here Tony Hawk, like this legend, this guy that he's built his name through like keep pushing on through his practice and his skills. Even Thunderbirds like this, not everyone might be familiar with the show, like maybe the older of us, but it's good to see like all that culture actually. And I think that's one key takeaway. We want to shape the metaverse with culture. That's why we put so much effort. And then we bring those fans, we bring those users to be able to take those content here and there, mix and remix them and create their own stories and even their new adventure in the metaverse from there.
Yeah, I mean, I love that aspect. You know, when you bring in these brands, they have, you know, a lot of assets that you can kind of then use for your own experiences. And I mean, how cool would it be to have a Tony Hawk skate park mashup with The Walking Dead, where you had rabbits that were out there like skating and trying to smash on you as you're doing your tricks. Like there's so many cool ideas that you could just like throw together. And so I just love that aspect. And I really love seeing Tony, you know, giving a shout out to the Sandbox. I interviewed him last year and he is a huge crypto guy. He was actually into Bitcoin before I was. The dude had Bitcoin in 2012. When I talked to him, I knew he owned Bitcoin, but I did not know he was an older OG than me. I got in on 2013, and so it's great to see like, you know, somebody like that who really has been a supporter of our entire industry, you know, really get involved here recently. And this is really the first outside of his own stuff, crypto and NFT things he's really like got on board with, as far as I've really seen. So I'm excited to see all the progress you guys have made, you know, with that brand. So
absolutely.
So you know, looking towards the future here. You know, like I said, you guys always have some great announcements waiting in the wings, some hot things, some brand new news. What can you share with us to close things out that is something that people may not know about? Maybe a little nugget of something that you haven't dropped yet. Give us a little bit of that alpha. Give us some of that season 3 alpha or something beyond season 3.
Well, I think that like season 3 is really introducing a new concept of the different, I wouldn't call them leagues, but the different like pool of rewards. So if you were a player and a landowner and an avatar owner and you own NFTs, you will maximize all the rewards you can get into Sandbox. And that means like you have a special allocation of a Sand token only for all the landowners or only for all the avatar holders. That's a big change because then you feel like you're going to be special as like one of the contributor and builder of the Sandbox. In terms of features, it's introducing the new version of the Sandbox Game Maker and Game Client, which has a greater performance. I hope that the community will notice the big change that is preparing for faster updates and faster features afterwards. So I'm sure we'll be able to keep iterating even faster, even though keep in mind previous season was just March, so not that long away. Even we had many events in the middle and we had double the amount of content, all new fresh content.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a hot season 3, and I can't wait to jump in and play with all you guys out there. Hopefully you guys will join me on my streams as soon as it's up and running. You know, we'll be in the metaverse, hanging around, running around, doing our ambassador thing in our little glowy suit. So if you guys see me running around inside the sandbox, stop by and say hi. But Sebastien, man, thanks again so much for coming on the channel here. Really appreciate it, and you know, love supporting the sandbox. And I think that, you know, everyone is going to really enjoy season 3 here from everything I've seen so far, and we can't wait to jump in there and play with you guys.
Definitely.
Cool.
Thanks for having this conversation, this update. I love having it every once in a while. I look forward to see you in season 3.
You know it, I'll be there. And that's all we have for today, folks. Until next time, dash that crypto, friends.